Hi everybody and welcome back to Kevin's Upfront Opinion today. So today I thought I'd speak about Keir Starmer and Nigel Farage. Now it's come out that Keir Starmer's claimed that Nigel Farage and Reform UK's policy on immigration is racist. I thought, is it racist? Because you can look at it from two different directions. Now, there are those that are going to say it is racist, point blank. Now, I think personally, in my own personal opinion, it's on the borderline. And this is the reason I say it. Okay, now the problem with our immigration system that we've got in this country at the moment, when it comes to illegal migration, is far too many people coming in and we're far too soft. So as things stands at the moment, okay, when they're coming in, they're illegal immigrants, no real grounds to be coming in. Okay, a lot of them. Okay, yes, there are going to be some legitimate migrants in that. Okay, where they're maybe escaping persecution or war zones or whatever, but they've crossed other safe countries, so then they're not actually. There's two different ways you can look at it. Yes, they are legitimate, but under international law they're supposed to stop at the first safe country, and last time I checked, France isn't at war. Well, at the moment anyway. They may be at war with us after time with disagreements. So from that point of view, you are going to be basically deporting people back to their home country. That's what you're basically facing, because that's what Nigel Farage is saying. You come into this country, we will deport you straight back to your home country. Now, because of that, people are going to say that it needs to be done, and they are technically correct, but in my view what needs to be done is they need to get put into a camp, quickly process them, I mean in days if not weeks, not months or years. So, but the fundamental problem that I see that Keir Starmer has is not so much it's racist, it's populist. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with populist. You know, I could say that when Tony Blair came to power, he was populist, very popular, because that's what populist is, somebody who's popular. No different to Donald Trump in America. He's populist. A lot of the things that he says, and one it's always said, are popular things. In America, they wanted to fundamentally reduce the amount of people coming through the southern border. What did Donald Trump do? Within a matter of, I think it was a matter of weeks, he reduced drastically the amount of people, got ICE getting out there, picking them up and sending them back to their home country. Yes, there was a few people that shouldn't have been sent, but if you take into account the amount that they were dealing with, you're always going to get a few innocent victims. And that's the same thing with Nigel Farage. He's populist. These are the things that people want up and down the country. Whether I agree with it or not, okay, that's irrelevant. But I could go, now, I live in a small seaside town, okay, on the south coast. Okay, I live in Leon Solent, which is part of Gosport constituency, which is Caroline Dinage, Conservative Caroline Dinage's constituency. Now, I could go on Leon Solent's High Street, probably not speak to a lot of people because of the time of year. I could go on to Gosport High Street, and I know categorically people will tell me this: too many people coming in, we want them out. I run a newspaper, so I know what people say, and I could probably go to any city in the UK, and yes, there are going to be a few people that say, oh no, they're welcome and everything. The bulk of them aren't going to say that, because what Nigel Farage is saying is popular within the country. Doesn't mean he'll realistically be able to do it. I don't think he'll be able to do what he's claiming. You know, stop the boats within 14 days of getting a law passed. Don't think he'll be able to do it. I think courts will be making appeals no different to what's happened with the Labour Party's agreement with France, the one in, one out deal. You know, first day it's running, somebody makes an appeal. Can't remember what country, if it was Ethiopia or somewhere in Africa anyway, and appealed it, and that appeal's still running on, stopping him going back to France. So when it comes to it, is it racist? Maybe a little bit. Maybe it is a little bit. But on the whole, his policy, I don't think is racist, because the problem is Keir, you're going to accuse Nigel Farage's policy of being racist, and you're going to accuse Reform UK of being racist. If you look at the numbers at the moment, I think he's polling somewhere around about 30 to 40%. You're looking at calling over 30% of the country racist. Because whether you like this or not, people aren't going to vote for Nigel Farage for his economic policies, his reforms he wants to do for benefits, or net zero or anything. People aren't going to vote for him for that. They're going to vote for him for one reason, and it's illegal immigration. And legal immigration, which isn't quite so bad in my view. So unless you manage to do what the Conservatives never managed to do in 14 years and get a grip of it, people will vote for reform, whether I agree with it or not. And I don't actually agree with reform. Okay, and I say that's a Conservative voter, not a Labour voter or a Lib Dem. Okay, so that's where my view is on it at the moment. Let us know what your personal opinion is in the comments down below. Okay, if you're new to the channel, please do give us a like or subscribe. I would appreciate it. But for now, thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you all again a bit later.